Skavetta music.
What's going on, folks? It is me, it is I am him, it is Space Cadet. You are now tuned into the Spaced Out Podcast. And we are in New York City with the one and only arsonist from the Heatmakerz. You already know. I appreciate you having us.
No problem,
Is just the Heatmakerz studio?
Diamond District Studios.
Diamond District Studios.
Yeah.
What ignited your passion for music production?
I think having nothing else to really depend on at the time. You know what I mean? I just got kicked out of college. I was home, I had a baby on the way, and I had to figure something out. And I always loved music, and one of my homeboys was going out of town, and he let me hold his MPC, and I learned how to make music on there in like 3 days. And sold 2 beats to this house producer by the name of Todd Terry. And after I sold him that music, he bought me like $30,000 worth of equipment. I'm giving you the short story. You know what I'm saying? So it was meant to be. Let me put it like that. It had to work out. Too many things aligned in my life for me to abandon music. Too many things aligned because of music for me to abandon it.
Why did you get kicked out of college?
I got into like a crazy fight out there. Like a crazy, crazy fight.
Where you go to college at?
Howard University.
Yeah?
Yeah. I met Guru there. I met a bunch of other people there, talented musicians and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a dope spot because I was DJing out there and, and meeting different people, different organizations and all of that.
So before music production, DJing was your thing?
Yeah, before music production, for about 4 years before music production, yeah. So from like my senior year in high school up until my my junior year in college when I got kicked out. So those 4 years I was DJing.
Is there, I see instruments in here. How many instruments can you play?
I mean, I'm not saying I play like the guitar well. I can play it well enough to do what I need to do. Same thing with the keys, all of that. So it's not like I would never claim to be like a savant. I would never claim that, but I can get the job done,
Yeah. Out here with the congas and shit like.
Yeah, all that adds, that adds a whole different element to music.
Yeah, a whole different vibe.
Because I'm Caribbean, I'm Jamaican, man, so certain instruments is necessary, you know what I'm saying? So I just believe in that. Like bass is necessary for me.
Yeah.
Like I could never make a beat without bass. It doesn't make sense. That's just my opinion.
No, I hear you. Like I feel like bass is needed.
Because bass is the layer, you know what I'm saying? It's an extra layer that you need.
But I do get when some producers don't use it and how they do it, it's fire.
Yeah, for maybe one record, but producers that do that on a consistent basis, that's like, the beat isn't complete to me.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, certain records you can strip down to just instrumentation. But for the most part, you need like a bass line to create the groove. You know what I'm saying? You need that.
Hey, what's going on, folks? It is me, it is I am him, it is Space Cadet. And I gotta stop the podcast real quick to talk to you guys about the Struggle Compound. Struggle Compound is located at 2400 Seneca Street, Suite number 5, right on the border of West Seneca and Buffalo. The Struggle Compound is a collective of multiple businesses who are all hustlers, entrepreneurs, and creatives. Struggle Compound is a recording studio, a barbershop, film and photography. Ladies, the Struggle Compound has you covered too, with exclusive extensions by Lele Jones and the Lace Effect. Also, if you need to get some clothes and right before you go out, come stop through. They got Buffalo's own Family Trappers, Struggle Clothing, and much more. And shout out to the new business, Sleek. that just stopped up in here. Come get you some sleek clothing today. And lastly, folks, you can stop here and come see the Spaced Out Podcast and Rev Room. If you're looking to get your podcast done, if you're looking to get some film photography, some drone work, Rev Room's got you covered. Who were some of your biggest influences growing up, and how did they shape your sound?
Influences, producers wise, or just artists in general, or just,
All in general.
Well, for me, I grew up listening to reggae music. So like I was influenced by like, Bob Marley, Beres Hammond, Garnet Silk, Sanchez, people like that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to producers, like I think Premier let me know that I could be a producer when I heard DeWick. Cause he wasn't playing instruments, he was just chopping up samples. And I'm like, oh, I could do this, but my own way. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say that Primo and RZA were influences to me. And like Dr. Dre, and you know what I mean, when it comes to producers and things like that.
I mean, and now you, as yourself, are like one of like a lot of producers' biggest influences, especially on the East Coast of things, because of what you've done with the sound of like, I'm not saying that like people can screw things in the wrong way when people say things. I'm not saying that Dipset, without your beats, Dipset wouldn't have gone anywhere. Right. But it enhanced their sound. I
think we helped each other.
Yeah.
Because they were perfect for my music. And I was perfect for their lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And their flows. So we helped each other. It was like one hand washed the other. Yeah. So I could never take full credit for that the same way they wouldn't take full credit for, you know what I mean? It's a combined thing. So it was perfect timing for both of us.
Now, like during that era of you creating that, what was like, so how did it go down? Like the first beat transaction with you guys? Because you have like a discography with anyone in Dipset, like lengths. Like what was do you remember the first beat that was like transpired or anything?
We ended up selling 9 beats off the first CD that we gave him. And we met him through a dude by the name of Renee McLean, who was managing Cam at the time. We gave him a CD, he gave it to Cam, and Cam picked probably like 9 out of 20. And then we did an extra 2, and that was Diplomatic Immunity. So it was a quick process. It wasn't like a long, drawn out thing where we gave him a record today, a record tomorrow. It was like really all on one CD.
Yeah.
So it was quick.
Yeah. Like, and that what you said, that was Diplomatic Immunity was like.
Yeah, we did 11 records on the first album.
Yeah. Nah, like the Dipset anthem is just like, I feel like one of the most iconic ones for me.
I appreciate it, man.
Like that shit, like anytime I hear that shit, as soon as you hear the beginning of it, you're just like.
But that's what a powerful record should be. Before you hear the lyrics, the beat should wake you up like, oh shit, that's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing like Quiet Storm, certain records. Yeah. You know what I mean? Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Reminisce. As soon as you hear the first notes, you're like, oh shit, I know what that is. Yeah. And more records need to be like that. But it's not, you know what I mean? It's like far and few between nowadays that you catch one of those.
What do you think the issue is with like now and then?
Everything is quick now. People want things instantaneously. You know, that's why you have Instagram. Everything is right now. People don't take the time to figure shit out and get their craft perfect. They kind of just want to put shit out like, I made it today, got to be out tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of bullshit to sift through. And that's the problem. So, you know, it is what it is.
What was the journey like for your first producing for major artists? Can you share like key moments that define your path? Like as we talking about like Dipset.
I mean, it's anybody that's in the music industry knows it's a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? Like you get one placement, that placement leads you to another artist and so on and so forth. So that's kind of how Heatmakerz career was. It was like we met Dipset. From Dipset, we might have met T.I. From T.I., we might have met Wayne. From Wayne, you know, Gucci, whoever it was, it's like, it was just from one artist to the next. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a similar journey for most producers. You got to use the people you know to get in contact with other people. And that's kind of what we did.
What's your favorite record you made? Like beat
I'm ready.
With, like,
I'm ready. Yeah, guaranteed, 100%. That's not even no questions asked. Definitely I'm ready. Just because I remember finding the sample to making the beat, to listen to the beat on repeat for 2 hours in the basement by myself. I remember all of that. So that beat kind of holds a special place in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely I'm ready.
How long did it take you to make that?
Anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. From start to finish, from sampling to finishing it. Yeah.
Mastering and everything?
No, not mastering. I'm just talking about like the beat to be finished, like 15 to 20 minutes.
I was about to say with mastering.
No. I didn't mix and master that. That was, I think Guru mixed I'm Ready.
Okay.
But yeah, it took me like 15 to 20 minutes to make that beat. Most of my music don't take me longer than 20 minutes. It shouldn't. Like, at this point, making music to me is like breathing. You know what I mean? The same way you breathe and you don't think about it, it's the same way I make music. I turn my mind off and I just, whatever happens, happens. It's like, what you're hearing is the after effect of me not thinking about shit. You know what I'm saying? So, cause I've been doing this shit now for like 24 years professionally, like making money off of it I'm lying, 25 years. Cause 99, I got my first check from cannabis. So 25 years I've been doing this professionally, so I don't think about making music. I just make music.
Yeah. Yo, just to hear the people that you keep mentioning, everything, it's like everybody that I've listened to, my whole, like, as soon as I started was able to listen to hip hop, it was just like,
right.
And it's just diving into like, I went back, like when I was told, oh, you get to sit down with Heatmakerz. I'm like, yo, arsonists from Heatmakerz, that's crazy. Like the beats that have come out of their
right.
It's just like.
But you gotta understand. You gotta understand. For me, like I don't view myself the way some people might view me. I'm super humbled about even like doing this interview and meeting certain people and hearing certain praise. You understand? It's like,
yeah.
I was just the dude in my mother's basement making music, not really knowing what I was doing at the time. I mean, it turned into this, obviously, but, you know, I never thought I was better than this dude or better than that dude. I just knew what I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
to hear you say certain things is humbling to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't make music with any expectations as far as shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just loved making music. So that's why I did it. It just turned into this.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's like, for me, it's like, where did you find, like, some shit is like, where do you find these samples? Like, it's like.
People be thinking I'm lying, man. Like, to me, yeah, samples are samples, but if you don't know what to do with them, it's like they're useless to you.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, a lot of my music gets made around how I feel that day. If I feel like I went through some crazy shit, I'm making some painful music. If I had the best day of my life, I'm making some other shit. It just depends, you know what I'm saying? But I'm strictly driven off of feeling. I don't make music for somebody. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I make music based on how I feel. That's all I do. So if you hear a record like Who Am I or I'm Ready or anything off of El Capo or shit I did for Lil Wayne or whoever it is, that's how I was feeling that day. That's it. No more, no less.
Now, have you, like, you probably, I can't say have you ever, like, when you sit down with somebody in the studio and make a beat with them and then they start spitting to it, what's that feeling like?
I mean, that's kind of all I do now. I don't really send out music for people to pick unless it's somebody I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody I know, 9 out of 10 times they sit next to me and I'm working on the track and they're writing the lyrics or, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. But I don't really like letting artists pick from a batch of beats anymore. That really doesn't move me no more, you know what I mean? But I'll do it if I have to. But 90% of the times now, I'm making the music in the studio. Like I just finished a project with Joel Ortiz, and I want to say 95% of the music on that album I made right then and there with him in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the thing that I'm on now.
That's dope. That's dope to know because shout out Sammy Snow, who's just here.
Oh yeah, and we did, matter of fact, Sammy Snow's project, he could tell you I did every record while he was in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's a different vibe. It's not what I normally make. So I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? To kind of catch a vibe for his album. We had to do that.
Yeah. Samuel drops tomorrow.
Oh yeah, go get that. Sam Snow, Heatmakerz is dope. Samuel.
Yeah, man. And then you talk about Joel Ortiz, just like super impactful ass songs that you two put out.
Yeah, but this album, and when I say this about albums, people think I'm bugging. I said this about El Capo and I said it about other albums of people I've worked with. I think this is Joel's best work to date.
Yeah.
Incredible, man. Like, and I won't bullshit about things like that. I think it's his best work to date from top to bottom.
That gave me goosebumps because that's he's like.
Before you leave here, I'll play your record just so you can understand what I'm saying.
That's like top 5 for sure.
No, but this is different. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Nah, but it's just like Joel's. Like I've been listening to him. Like he came. Like Slaughterhouse was when he got.
But this is different.
Attention.
This ain't just rapping. On this project, he's talking about something every record. And he's great at like storytelling and painting pictures. You know what I'm saying? So people will truly enjoy this album.
Are there other albums that you did that you felt that way? Like when you guys made it, you were like, oh, you knew right away this is fucking different?
When I heard Diplomatic Immunity all put together, I knew. You can ask, when you see Fat Joe, ask him. When he did Lean Back, I was probably one of the first people he played the finished song for. I said, yo, you're gone. This is out of here. Yeah. What happened with that song? He was gone. When he did All the Way Up, I recorded All the Way Up. I didn't produce it, but I recorded. He recorded in my studio. I said, you're gone. This is out of here. What happened with that song? Out of here. Sometimes I just know. I know when it's quality work. Even if I didn't do it, I know when it's quality work. You know what I'm saying? Like, El Capo to me is quality work. 135 million streams later, I was right. It was Jim's best project. I wasn't wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this about Joel. War, with all respect, Heatmakerz and Joel Ortiz, or Joel Ortiz and Heatmakerz, his best album ever. I put my name on the line with that one. His best album ever, from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'll let the people decide.
Yeah. El Capo, yo, that album was like, it just solidified Jim Jones again, like over again. It's just like,
yeah, that's a fact.
It was so, and he was in his bag, like you could feel, like you said.
Every record on that album is a different person's favorite record. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a strong album, man. And I don't even talk about my own work like that, but when it's good, I say it. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong, I work on certain things that I'm even questionable about sometimes, but not with the shit I'm talking about. El Capo's different. Joel Ortiz War is different. You know, it's just different. Diplomatic Immunity was different. So when I say certain shit is different, trust me, it's different.
That changed everything, especially from like all the way in Buffalo, New York, it changed everything.
I think people forget, because I don't really talk a lot, that like we controlled and shifted the culture of New York as a production team. Like we did that. A lot of producers can't say that. We controlled the way niggas was dressing, the way they was dancing, the way they was rapping, all of that. By the music. With the help of Cam, you know, Jim and Joel's and Zeke and everybody. But as a unit, we did that. A lot of people can't say that. You know what I'm saying? They've made great beats and they've made great music, but they've never shifted the culture the way we did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was Dipset UK. It was Dipset South. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's like you had everybody wearing pink bandanas or just wearing bandanas in general because of Jewels, or pink
Wearing a
bandanas because of
bandana
Cam.
that sat on
Right.
your head and shit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Or wearing the belts with the chain attached because of Jim. It was a whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Mad producers copying my sound, trying to make beats to sound like me. I get it though.
Was it the belt buckle because of,
Yeah, that
of
was
them too?
Yeah, they
Like-
brought that back. Yeah.
Like even the belt buckle that fucking had like the words going across it, like you were a fucking corner store. Like, yo, they changed everything. Like you shopped at the Arab store because of them.
I don't think people understand the impact that Dipset had during that time. Maybe they do and they just don't want to give it up, but Dipset deserves a lot more credit than they get.
No, yeah.
You know,
Like
but-
the movies they put out, the everything.
Just everything. It was just a
Everything they
lifestyle.
done.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? At the time, the lifestyle.
And it's like for me, if I look at it, it's like now Jewel or what's happening for the Buffalo hip hop scene.
Right.
With West Side Gun. West Side
Right.
Gun is like the Cameron of this time right now. Like
Right.
Cameron was like the fly god of like when I was growing up. That was
Right.
our fly. That was fly god first because everything he did, like you said, the purple,
Right.
the pink, the big, like bringing back those.
And he put his team on right behind him.
Those big ass fucking coats and shit like that. He brought it back, and then the hip hop scene changed into a whole different wherever it went, and now it's like for us in Buffalo, it's coming back around. They doing this again, but it's like
But Buffalo kind of holds its own as far as like hip hop. Like they don't change too much. Like Buffalo's been like the 90s for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because I remember going out to Buffalo in like early 2000s, felt like the 90s. After 2010, felt like the 90s. You know what I mean? So Buffalo they don't move because of anybody else. They move when they want to move. You know what I'm saying? So I think Buffalo will be safe with the music scene as far as like Griselda goes. You know what I'm saying?
it's growing and busting. It's crazy. The art, everything that they brought to the table is like they've created a movement like that.
They did the unthinkable. They popped coming from Buffalo.
Yeah,
That's unthinkable. Because people in the city try to shun Buffalo from being part of New York.
yeah,
So they don't let artists break through from Buffalo. So they did the unthinkable.
yeah.
When
'cause
you really
they
think
be
about
like,
it, they did the
Buffalo,
unthinkable.
the country, Buffalo this, Buffalo that. Like it's like go to Buffalo, see what it's about.
Yeah.
And they show it's a culture shock for the hip hop scene.
Because when you think of New York, you don't attach Buffalo to it if you're from the city. It's just the way it is. It's sad to say, but
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So for them to break through from Buffalo, they did something miraculous.
Breaking barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You work with some legendary names. What was it like collaborating with people like Dipset and Lil Wayne? Did you do with Wayne or anyone? Was it sending them beats?
Yeah,
and shit?
Wayne was shout out to my man British. British had asked me for some music to give to Wayne, and British is Cam's manager, by the way. He had asked me for some music to give to Wayne. I gave it to him. Didn't hear nothing for like 6 months. Then I get a call like, yo, we trying to mix the album. We need these 2 records. And I'm like, oh shit. Sent the records through. Came out like, I want to say about 3 weeks later at that time. So I never really worked in the studio with Wayne. It was just sending music. But I would love to do that, in the future.
Yeah.
I think that'd be dope.
Like, so you've been through a few different changes in hip hop.
Yeah.
Like you've been through, like I feel like all
The first change is the hardest. Because when you have any type of success in music, you tend to think it's gonna stay that way. So when it changes for the first time, it's like a shock to your system. Like, what the fuck is happening? I'm not making money the way I used to. Like, people ain't hitting my line the way they used to. And then you learn to adapt. So by the time the second and third change come along, you seasoned already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know how to survive the drought. So it's like, you can figure it out. But the first change is the hardest because you don't think there's ever going to be a change. So when it changes, it throws you into a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? A whole nother mind frame. So like a lot of artists that came out in like, that had success in like 2016, 2017, they're going through their first change now. Because music is shifting as we speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you notice, you don't hear as much trap music as you used to.
Now you're hearing that, like, they bringing back that, like, high pitch, like, they trying to
And you
bring
hear-
back that soul type
Yeah,
music.
exactly. Like, because again, the whole shit it's a rotation. Shit just swaps out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the soul shit will come in, then that'll fade out, and the next shit will come back in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who knows? But you just got to be ready for the change.
Your beats, they're known for the distinctive, hard-hitting style. Can you walk us through the creative process of creating the track?
Now,
Yeah.
it's gonna sound like I'm lying to you, but I couldn't. I don't know. Like I tell you, when I turn the machine on and I decide to work, my brain is turned off at that point. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just doing. I know that sounds like a bullshit answer, but it's the truth. I'm telling you, it's like I don't think no more. It's like if somebody said to you, describe the reason why you breathe or your process in breathing, what would you say? You'd be like, I don't know, I just fucking breathe. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to describe any process because it's like I'm on autopilot. You know what I mean? Like, and some people might think that's a bullshit answer, but it's the truth. After a certain amount of years, my brain stopped thinking about what to do and I just did. So what you hear is just whatever is happening at the time. Like, I'm not even, sometimes I'll film myself making a beat. And when I watch it back, I'm like, damn, what made me do that? It's like I'm watching somebody else. It's weird.
Yeah. It's like, that, for me, it's just like that. I can't even make the sound. I'm going to fuck it up, so I'm not even going to do it.
So funny.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try. What are some of your go-to tools in the software in your studio setup that you can't live with?
Can't live without?
Yeah.
Do I want to tell people what I use?
I was
You
gonna
might
say.
be using the same shit as me. I mean, who knows? No. If they watch my Instagram and see certain shit in the background, they know. I mean, I use Studio One as far as like once I make the beat in the MPC, I put it in Studio One. And then I have a bunch of different DAWs in there and shit that I use, but I'm not going to name specific ones.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, that's my process from the MPC to Studio One, from Studio One to Pro Tools. And that's, you know, that's pretty much it.
How do you find a balance between maintaining your signature sound and adapting to the ever-evolving trends in the music industry?
I don't think about that because it's like, as I get older and I evolve, I stop using certain tactics when I make music. Naturally, I don't think about it. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like the older version of Heatmakerz, I used to always use this like Michael Jackson Thriller laugh in my beats. Like a lot of the beats that you heard, like Hell Rel, This Is What I Do, or certain records. And over time, I'm like, hey, this sounds old and corny. I'm not using that no more. And that kind of what happens. Like things just kind of, or even like in Cam's The Bigger Picture, I use this scream and this laugh that I used to always use. And I stopped using that shit. But to me, it was like, it was getting old. It was like, it just sounds old and dated and corny. Let me stop using that. That was Heatmakerz of 2001, 2002, maybe 2003. And then as the years go on, you shed certain things and you add certain things. So the sound evolves. But the core is still the same.
Can you share a particular moment or a studio session or a project that stands out to you with your career? Like,
a studio moment that stood out. Well, it might not be a moment that means much to a lot of people or even an exciting story, but when I first started working with Jim again in 2017, and he was working on Wasted Talent, he played it for me, and I was like, yo, let me send you a record so I can make the album. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, bet, send me something. And I said, yo, honestly, I feel like people want to hear the Harlem hustler Jim Jones, because the records he had on there was like a lot of trap records and like newer type of records. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I had made this beat, which ended up being Once Upon a Time and he rapped to that, and then we ended up doing another 4 records on top of that, and then he ended up giving me executive production credit on the album, and that was a special moment to me because I never executive produced the album before that moment. You know what I'm saying? So in my career, that was a good look for me. So to answer your question, that moment was a special moment for me.
So you talked about the Joel Ortiz, and we talked about the Sammy Snow project. Are there any other projects that you've been working on with any other artists that you could talk about?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a bunch, man. Some unknown, some known. I'm doing a project with an artist by the name of Iborn. He's a lieutenant in the FOI for Westchester, but he's like a new age public enemy. You know what I mean? Because he has such a big following as far as like the Nation of Islam goes and things like that. And we did a project together called Born Again that I think is incredible. And I'm working on a project with, are you familiar with Locksmith? From the Bay?
I've heard of
rapper.
Yeah.
Really dope. I'm working on a project with Locksmith that we really just started, but I think it's going to be an incredible project because he's one of the best lyricists that's out right now, you know, in my opinion. And a few other, a matter of fact, my homeboy, his name is Amir. He signed to Pete Rock. Me and him just finished a project. So I got a bunch of different things, man. Plus, I'm actually negotiating a deal now with I ain't gonna say the name of the company, but to put out a Heatmakerz instrumental project, which should be dope. And I have a Heatmakerz drum kit coming out with Akai within the next couple months. And then a signature Heatmakerz MPC after that.
That's
So
fine.
we got some things in the works.
That's dope. What goals or aspirations do you have for the future for both yourself and is it just you now for Heatmakerz?
Yeah, Heatmakerz just been me since 2007.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know it might seem like a bunch of niggas doing the work, but it's me.
Yeah.
Imagine if I had a team, right? It'd be dangerous.
No, yeah.
If I'm doing this by myself, they don't want that. That'd be too dangerous.
That's fine.
So what was your question? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah. What goals or aspirations do you have for yourself and for the future?
Again, this gonna sound like a bullshit answer, but as I got older, I learned to live more in the moment, man. I don't think about 2-3 months ahead, 6 months ahead, because, you know, God rest the dead, when Fred was alive, we had plans. You know what I mean? He didn't make it to see those plans. So I feel foolish making plans now. It's almost like you telling God, I know I'm gonna make it till the next 3 months or 6 months. So I don't even like thinking to that point in my life. It's like, let me deal with today. And then after today, I'm gonna deal with tomorrow. And so on and so forth. And the future will line up right if I treat it like that.
Yeah. I fuck with that. That's how I don't like making plans. No, none of that.
Like my mother
bullshit.
used to always say, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And when I was young, I couldn't understand it. Now I understand it. It's like, God is the only one that knows, right? Whatever you believe in is the only one that knows. You don't even know. You think the people that died yesterday knew they was going to die yesterday? Of course not. So I take it day by day, man. Whatever today has for me, I deal with it. I enjoy today for what it was, and the same thing with tomorrow, and so on and so forth. So to answer that question, I'm not thinking that far ahead. I just want to accomplish what I got to accomplish today.
So, looking back on your journey, your 25-year journey,
Mm-hmm.
what are some key lessons you've learned that you'd like to share with some of the people who follow you and listen to you?
I've said this before, but I live by a simple saying, man. If you can't be used, you're useless. And a lot of people think being used is a bad thing. The only way being used is a bad thing is if you don't use that other person back. You understand? Like, if me and you were friends and you help me, but I can't help you, we shouldn't be friends. We should have equal usage for each other. Because the minute that I'm doing 80% of the helping and you're doing 20, that's not an equal friendship. So again, if you can't be used, you're useless. It's like, have a use. And make sure that the person that's using you can use them back in some capacity.
That's fine. Yeah, I've never looked at it that way. Some insight. So, outside of the studio, what are some of your hobbies and things you like to do?
I love to draw. I've been drawing a lot more lately just because it's kind of peaceful for me. I like to draw and I like to box. So boxing and drawing is like, I know it sounds like on two totally different ends of the spectrum, but it's like one is to let your aggression out and one is to be at peace. I guess in essence, that's really what it is.
Yeah. What are some non-musical experiences that influence your work and creativity?
And again, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I think it was the doubt from my parents and people like that. Because I think I needed that. Like certain people operate different, but I operate different when I know I have to prove somebody wrong. When I think somebody doesn't believe, I work better. Some people are the opposite. And I think had I been raised any different, the outcome would have been totally different. But my parents raised me like, if they think I'm not good at something, they're gonna tell me. It's no sugarcoating this shit like because I'm their kid, like, yo, you're great, keep trying. It was never that. It was, yo, I think you should stop doing that. You're not too good at that. And I needed that. You know what I mean? And to be who I am right now, I needed that.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate you so much for doing this interview and sitting down with me for the podcast.
How'd you get your name?
Yeah, I was just, see?
We always forget that one.
Nah, I was literally about to say, I'm going to let my man, Mr. Green, fucking ask some questions because I know Mr. Green wants to ask you some questions because he's also a huge
you
fan.
said, how did I get my name? Yeah. Here's the funny thing, right? So my favorite movie ever is Juice. And remember
right for that one. That's my
Q's DJ name, he was DJ GQ. He was GQ.
Yeah, GQ.
So that was my first DJ name. And my homeboy was like, yo, that name is corny, man. You can't have that name. He's like, yo, you be burning shit down, man. Call yourself the arsonist. And I'm like, that's kind of fire. We just ran with that. So that was my DJ name first, was arsonist. And I just took it into production.
I don't want to sound stupid. Is that how you spell arsonist? Like,
I spell it without an A.
Okay, I was about to,
No, because there was another DJ arsonist back in the day, but I think he was from the Bronx, if I'm not mistaken.
So you had to find a way to stand out.
Yeah, that's why I dropped the A off of there.
Yeah.
It was for that very reason, honestly.
Because I was like, yo, for a second, I'm high as fuck thinking like, yo, is that how arsonist is spelled?
No, it's just I dropped the A. There was a different, there was a DJ arsonist.
You got credits with Raekwon, right?
I work with Raekwon on K Slay's album. But I work with, my first placement with a Wu-Tang member was Ghostface on the Bulletproof Wallets album. I did Ice. Okay. If you notice, Ice is the same beat as Come Home With Me.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
No, yeah.
Right, so what happened was Ghostface took the beat right off the CD and rapped on it and put it on the album. I didn't even know it was on the album until the album came out. Okay. And at that time, Cam had already bought the beat. You know what I mean? So we worked it out. I got what I was supposed to get, and Cam was cool, and everybody was good.
Yeah, because thank God you brought that up, because I was like, that was one of my things. It's like, how did that happen?
This wasn't even a question, but you just made me think of it. As a beat maker, what's your take on like people renting and leasing beats and things like that these days?
It's the stupidest shit in the world.
Okay.
It's the stupidest shit in the world. You can't. I ask dudes all the time, would you loan out your girlfriend to somebody else?
I mean, in the world we live.
No, some people might, of course, but I'm just saying to you, does it make sense? Right. Like music is a personal thing, right? So if you make a body of work, I don't want 15 other people with the same beat on their project as me. It's not special no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never understood that. How can you suppose you lease a beat to 15 people and one of those people make it into a hit. What happens to the other 14? They don't own it no more? Like how does that work? I don't understand how this works.
It's just something that keeps coming up.
Yeah, like it's like I've
For
never
me,
understood that concept.
It don't make sense. Like I thought that you were supposed to purchase the beat off of.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna sell it, just sell it.
Yeah.
What is the lease about? This ain't a car. This shit is a beat. So that means that if 25 people use this beat before me and it didn't work for 25 of them, I'm gonna be the 26th. Why would I do that? It's proven this beat doesn't work with 25 other niggas.
And some sites don't even tell you how many people used it.
Yeah, but all I'm saying to you is that whole concept is corny to me. It's like, so now you made a beat in 2018. It's still getting passed around now in 2024. Like, come on, like that's laziness on the producer's side. Just make more music. Sell that beat and make more music. You've been leasing out a beat for the last 8 years.
What's the cost that, like, what do you think the most a beat should cost? Or is there no cap on that?
There's no cap on it because that's like saying how much should a song make when you put it out.
Yeah.
You can't say that. So it's like, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a demand for something, people like somebody's work, you can't put a price on it.
It's like art.
Because think about it, it
is art.
It's way different than traditional art, though, in the sense of, in today's music industry, there's nothing tangible. You don't buy, I mean, sometimes you can buy a CD and vinyl, but for the most part, it's digital.
Yeah.
It's nothing for you to hold on to when you're listening to music. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so what are you really buying? You're buying a feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how can you put a price on a feeling? That's why niggas get hooked on drugs. It provides a feeling that you can't get unless you take that. Can you put a price on that? If a nigga's hooked on it, of course you can't. Nigga can charge whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's what this shit is. If I get a nigga hooked on my music, I could charge whatever I want. Because he needs that feeling to feel alive, to feel right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, there is no ceiling for this shit. And I hope there's never a ceiling for it, so I can keep making money. You know, like, to me, as long as I provide that feeling and you willing to pay for it, I'm gonna keep providing the feeling through the music.
Yeah. You got anything else?
I mean, I agree all night, but
no, go ahead. I know you got, like, hit him with 2 more.
All right. Here's going for your studio, right? We're in New York City.
Right.
You know, you got obviously a huge background. Is there like some type of studio etiquette that you expect that maybe people aren't used to or people should understand as a beat maker when they come in here?
I just think if you're let's just say you're a solo artist. In my opinion, you shouldn't be showing up to the studio with 15 people.
Okay.
Like, what are they providing to the creative process? If nothing, why are they here? Most of them won't even go to the store for you. You understand? So it's like, as far as studio etiquette goes, it's like, come ready to work. Of course, we could laugh and bullshit and talk and do all of that, but come ready to work, because when I leave my crib and I tell my daughter I'm going to work, I'm not lying to her. I'm going to work. So don't bullshit me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't bring a million niggas with you. That's not necessary. At this age of my life, I'm too old for that shit. It's like, when I was in my 20s, yeah, I was cool with that. 15 niggas around me in the studio at all times, 20 niggas, I'm good with that. I used to thrive in that environment. Now it's like, I want the peace. I don't like the chaos no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's why back then I could make Dipset Anthem. Super aggressive shit, because to me it was like, that's the environment I was in. Mm-hmm. I was in the midst of the Bronx, like with 15 niggas around me at all time, playing dominoes and video games and gambling while I got an MPC right here. So, but it's not like that no more. So I don't really want that around me no more if I don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I did expect way more people to be in here.
Yeah, because I like
I thought, man, this is the Heatmakerz studio, like.
Yeah, but it's a certain level of peace that you want, man. It's like, I'll deal with the chaos at home. You know what I mean? Like, when I come to make music, I want a certain level I want a controlled environment. If there's too many niggas around, it's not a controlled environment, it's chaos. I don't want chaos around me no more.
I hear that.
I mean, Jesus Christ. There's just so much. I don't even know.
Just ask me, brother. We here, man. Fuck it. Let's just, you know.
I'm just trying to think of like the things you have credits on that I was curious about. Okay, here's a question. So you've obviously worked closely with obviously most of the Dipset members. What's it like to work with Jewels?
Yo,
You know what
thank
I mean?
you.
In studio with Jewels.
Jewels?
I mean, the What the Game's Been Missing album.
I think me and Jewels have the best chemistry when it comes to working together because I don't have to think about what to make him. It's like the natural way I make music is tailor-made for him without me even trying. If you listen to I'm Ready, most dudes can't rap on I'm Ready the right way. Jewels figured it out. You listen to Dipset Anthem. You listen to anything. You listen to Postman. You listen to Shotters. You listen to all of those records. My Love. Like, he fits perfectly on those records. Violence. All of it. You know what I mean? I've done a bunch of records for Jewel. So, like, I think me and him have the best chemistry in studio.
I think that's like one of my, like, if I rub a lamp, pause, no Diddy, and the whole, they were like, yo, you got one wish. I'd probably be like, Heatmakerz Joel Santana album, 2024, please.
Yeah, say that to the camera. Tell Jewel that.
Yeah, yo, for real, Doctor. 2024, we need Joel's.
You gotta hear it from somebody else besides me.
Yo, we need Joel's back in the game. Like,
I mean, Jewel's is active still. He just put out a video the other day, but I think.
But it's like, yo, he teased the fuck out of us.
With that Whitney record?
With the whole when he was dropping
Yeah.
It was like he was like, all right, I'm back to the studio. I'm gonna make music, but you're not gonna hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm like, yo, please,
hopefully we get that, cause that's on my bucket list too, man. On my bucket list is a project with Jewels, a project with Cam, and a project with Heatmakerz.
That Cam freestyle. What you think about the Cam freestyle?
Fire.
Yo,
Cam is one of my favorite rappers to this day. Still, Cam is one of my favorite rappers.
He's just the way he's witty with it, and the way that his delivery, everything.
Cam's voice and delivery will never get old.
Yeah, his
flow won't get old.
Super powerful.
Do you have any stories or anything you can tell us that like,
about
a funny time or something that happened?
With who, Cam?
Being around Cam?
And yeah, for real, Cam got to be the funniest person in the world.
Nah, Cam is hilarious, man. I don't know what story. I mean, I don't want to say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, Cam's just a funny dude, man. Bottom line, Cam's just a funny dude. I can't think of any stories off the top of my head, but Cam is just a funny guy.
Other person I think would be dope would be Al B. Al.
I did one of Al B. Al's first record when he came home the first time.
But
I haven't seen him since either.
The whole thing would be crazy because his sound is just like the voices. You can put voices to a producer.
No, he's dope. Al B. Al is dope. He always been dope.
Super fire. Because we're staying in New Jersey. And I was like, yo, I went on live and I was like, yo, somebody got to find me Al B. Al in Newark right now. I need him in New Jersey right now.
Y'all did an interview with him?
No, I want to. Like, that's just like Joel, that's just like Joel Santana, Joel Ortiz. Those is like, yo, I gotta have them. Anyone from the whole Dipset would be crazy. Like, just to sit down and sit with. But yeah, I appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Nah, just keep supporting. You know, you hear Heatmakerz, man. Just tune in, give it a stream, give it a download. You know, give it a play, whatever. But yeah, just keep supporting, man. It's all love, for sure.
Yo, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you go like, subscribe, do all that cool shit. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Appreciate it.
It's the Wiz. Scatter music.